Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I welcome all to our Bhagavad Gita class. And we have already finished chapter 17. We'll be starting with chapter 18 today. Sometimes we wonder, is spiritual life about quitting everything? Many times we are faced with the challenges in our life, and the challenges are so extreme that we find ourselves on the crossroad, and we feel like, we cannot continue further and we want to quit everything, right? I'm sure many would have faced this. Arjun, some 5,000 years back, we know Arjun is a great warrior. Some 5,000 years back, when in the field of Kurukshetra, during the war, Arjun faced with a challenge, and he was very very enthusiastic to go and fight the war against Kauravas. But then what happened? He asked Krishna. He want to see who are there on the other side, who are there to get killed by him, and he wanted Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the army, so he can see who the people are on the Kaurava side, ready for him to fight. And when Krishna kept the chariot in between the path where he could see Dronacharya, who is his beloved teacher, Bhishpitama, his grandfather, whose great grandfather, who is standing there ready to fight with him, and all his brothers, his cousins, his father in law, they all on the Kaurava side ready to fight, he actually broke down. He was wondering what is he doing, what will happen if he fight. He knows that everyone on the other side is going to get killed, and then what is the essence of this victory when no one is there? And he got very compassionate. He was not ready to fight. He said to Krishna, Krishna, it is better for me to go and beg than fighting, right? So a warrior like Arjun could also face such a challenge, and then he refused to fight. And the only good thing that he said, I'm totally confused, I'm totally bewildered, and he totally surrendered to Krishna. And when he surrendered to Krishna, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. So he, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, wanted to quit. He said, it's better to live life begging than killing my all kinsmen. This is what Arjun thought. And many times in our lives, we also face things that, okay, enough, let's quit, let's run away. And then we think it's better to become sannyasi, to go and renounce this world and go to the forest. The question is spiritual life really about quitting everything and going to forest? Now, by now, Krishna has already given, and then Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. He explained about the different yoga. He took Arjun about the karma yoga. He explained to him about the karma yoga, the dhyan yoga, the bhakti yoga, the gyan yoga. We finished all these in the previous classes. And now, in the 18th chapter, Arjun still have some confusion left. And he starts by the question to Krishna. And the question that Arjun asks to Krishna is, let's read the question, the shlok together. Sannyasa mahabaho tattvam ikchami veditum tyagasya cha hishikesha prithak keshi nishudana sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ikchami veditum tyagasya cha hishikesha prithak keshi nishudanam. So even after hearing all the 17 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun still have one doubt left, and that is the doubt that he asked Krishna in the 18th first shlok of the 18th chapter. He says, sannyasasya is sannyas, that is a renounced order of life, sannyas. Mahabaho, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed one. He is addressing Krishna as Mahabaho. Tattvam, Tattvam is the truth. I want to know the truth. Ikshami, Iksha means I desire. Iksha means I desire. Vedutu, Vedutu means please tell. Tyagasya, Tyagasya means renunciation. Tyagasya cha Hishikesha. Hishikesha is again Krishna. Prithak, Prithak is difference. Keshi Nishudana. Keshi Nishudana is again Krishna. So let us read the translation by Prabhupada. Arjun said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, which is tyag, and of the renounced order of life, which is sannyas. O killer of the Kesi Remen, master of the senses. So in this shlok, Arjun calls Krishna thrice. One, he addresses him as Mahabaho, which is the mighty armed. Rishikesh. Rishikesh is again a name of Krishna. Rishikesh means, Rish means the senses. He is the master of senses. Rishikesh is the master of senses. And Keshi Nishudana. Keshi is a demon. And Nishudana means killed. Krishna is the one who has killed the demon called Keshi. Now, the doubts that is in our mind are like demons. The doubts that we have in our mind, the small doubts also can be like demon. And that is why Arjuna is using the word like Keshi Nishudana, which it means please kill the doubts that is arising in my mind. And what is the doubt? He wants to know sannyas. Sannyas is the renounced out of the life. So we know that in varnashram system we have four ashrams, which is brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, and sannyas ashram. So he is saying sannyas, which is the sannyas order of life, and tyag is renunciation. There are two. I know there are two, these words sannyas and tyag, which is renunciation. What is the difference between them? What is exactly the meaning of it, and what is the real difference between them? Please tell me clearly. Clear? The question, what is the difference between sannyas, which is the renounced order of life? When someone enters a sannyasi, becomes a sannyasi. So now when you say I am a sannyasi, the renounced order of life is sannyas. And then tyag, that is renunciation. What is the difference between these two? So let us go to the next shlok. 18.2. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phala tyagam prahustyagam vichikshana kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phala tyagam prahustyagam vichikshana. So now Krishna in the next two shlok, which is shlok number 2 at second and third, he explains about what is called by the sages, different great sages, what have they defined as sannyas and tyag. So the first line he talks about kamyanam karmana nyasam. Kamyanam karmana nyasam. Nyasam means tyag. Nyasam means giving up. Nyasa means giving up. So giving up what? Karmana means all the karmas. What sort of karma? Which are kamyanam. So we'll talk about different types of karma that we have. So there's a type of karma called kamyanam karma. So those karma, nyasam, which is giving up that, sannyasam kavyo vidu. Kavya means those who are knowledgeable. Those who are knowledgeable, they call sannyas. When they say someone is in sannyas, then it is called, they actually give up the kamyanam karmana. Kamyanam karma is basically those karma by which we desire some material benefit. All those karma for which we desire some material benefit. For example, I perform a yajna to get a good son, or I perform I perform some rituals to get more money. So any desire which is material, that will give more material pleasure, any such desires are called, and to work towards that is called kamyana, kamyanam karma, kamya karma. That is called kamya karma. Karma which is for material desire is. So Krishna says that kavya, some of the knowledgeable people, they say that giving up all those karmas which is for material desire is called sannyas. It's called sannyas. So when you are in the sannyas order, you do not do anything, or you do not do any karma which is for the material desire, which attracts, which is more for material desire. But anything which is for the spiritual desire, that must be performed. Yeah. So that is how he defines. He says that some of the kavyas, some of the great sages or the intelligent people have defined as a sannyas. And then in the second line, Krishna says, Sarva karma phala tyagam. Sarva is all, karma is work. Phal is the result of all the work. Tyag is renouncing. Tyag is renouncing. So basically, prahu means is called. Tyaga, tyaga is, it's called tyag. So Arjun in the first shlok has asked the question, what is the difference between sannyas and tyag? Sannyas and tyag. And in the second shlok, Krishna is not directly answering what he thinks, but he is stating what some sages or some intelligent people have called, kavya have called. So he says, they say that sannyas means not living with no material desire. Then you are in the order of sannyas order. Then you have actually entered the sannyas stage, when you are not doing anything for gaining anything material. And that is, and what is tyag? Tyag with vichakshana is again, vichakshana means that someone who is wise. Vichakshana means those who are wise people. How they define tyag? Tyag is defined when you sarva karma phala tyaga, when you do all the activity but you are not attached to the result of the activity. You perform all the activity but you are not attached to the results of the activity. That is called sarva karma phala tyaga. You are doing your duty as you should do, but then whatever result you get by doing your duty, you are not attached to it. You are expected to go and work in the office, go and work in the office to the best of your ability, but whatever results come, don't get attached to it. Just bring it, offer it to Krishna, and then take it for your family. So don't get attached to the results, right? So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyas. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation or tyag, right? So these are the two definitions that is given by wise and learned people. Krishna explains that. In the third shlok, let's go to the third shlok now. त्याज्यम दोष वदित्येके
त्याज्यम दोष वदित्येके
कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यम इति चापरे त्याज्यम दोष वदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याज्यम iti chapare. Now Krishna explains, continues talking about how sannyas and tyag is defined by manishinam. Manishinam is also again learned people, wise people. So then the first line Krishna says, tyajyam. Tyajyam is to leave, to give up. What to give up? Dosha vadityeke karma. Prahur manishinam. Manishinam is all the learned people, all the wise people. What do they say? They say all the work Doshavadit, which is when any work that to be done should be given up. Any work that should be given up, and that actually causes dosh. Dosh vadit yeke karma prahur manishinam. And so that is how some of the learned men says that all kinds of karma that should actually be left. But then some others says yagya dana tapah karma, but the karma, but whatever karma which is related to yagya, dan, and tap, that is sacrifice, charity, and austerity. Na tyajam iti chapare, that should never be left, they should never be given up. So Krishna has, in the second and third shlok, Krishna has explained how sannyas and tyag is defined by various learned people, right? So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet, other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. So we have to be careful when here the karma that should be given up is all activity which is for material desire, fruitive activities. Fruitive activities means all that work which is related to material desires. But anything which is taking us to the higher platform, that is a spiritual activity, like hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, doing your prayers, the fasting for Krishna, that should never be given up. Also, along with that, yagya, dan, and tap karma, such karma should also be never given up. Right? So these are what the learned men sages say. So now we move to the next shlok, which is shlok number 4. निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमम् त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविध समप्रकीर्तितः निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तम त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविध samprakritiतः. Now, in the fourth shlok, Krishna starts giving his opinion. What does Krishna thinks about Tyaga and sannyas? So he starts by explaining first about Tyag. Nishchayam shunu. Nishchayam means for certain. For certain, shunu. Listen to me. Me tatra tyage bharat sattama. Bharat sattama is best of the Bharat. That is Arjun. Oh, best of the Bharat. Listen. Listen what is Tyag. Tyago hi Purush Vyagra. Purush Vyagra is again Arjun. As Arjun is addressed as Purush Vyagra. It means the tiger among men. Tyago hi Trividha. He says the Tyag that is done is of 3 types. The Tyag which is done of Trividha. It is of 3 types. Some Prakriti. There are 3 kinds of Tyag as per scriptures. So let us read the English translation by Srila Prabhupada. O best of the Bharats, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of 3 kinds. There are 3 kinds of renunciation, tyag. So let us read the 5th shlok now. Yagya dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam yagya dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Yeah. Now Krishna says very clearly that yagya dan tap karma, the karma of yagya, that is performing sacrifices, dan, that is giving charity, and tapa, that is austerity. These karma na tyajyam, that should never be given up, right? So he is taking up what Krishna has, what other sages has told in the third slok. He says, he adds to say, yes, I agree to it, that yajna, dan and tap karma, that should never be given up. And he adds 2 points to that. He says, not only should never be given up, but karyameva tat, it should definitely be performed. Karyameva tat means it should definitely be performed. Yagyo danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Why? Because yagya dan tapaschaiva. By doing yagya, by doing dan, and by tap, then what happens? Pavanani. Pavanani means purifies. Pavanani means it purifies. Manishinam. Manishinam means those who are already very great soul. Those who are already very great souls, what happens? It actually purifies them. So Krishna says in the fifth slok that yagya dan tap karma, it should never be given up, as was told in the third slok by different sages. And he also says, Krishna says, it should not only be given, not be given up, it should definitely karyamevatat, it should definitely be performed. Why it should be done? Because by doing yagya, by doing dan, by doing tap, what happens? Our souls becomes purified. Pavanani. Pavanani means purify. It becomes purified. When we do yagya, when we do dan, when we do tap, then our soul becomes purified. Manishinam. This is also told by Manishinam, means by the great souls, by the great sages, even by the great sages, right? So let us read the English translation by Srila Prabhupada. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So now we know yajna as the fire sacrifice. Now in Kali Yuga, it is very very difficult, and it also takes a lot of money and all to do the fire sacrifice. So for the Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan yajna is also is a great yajna, and that is what is defined for the Kali Yuga, right? Hare Krishna Mahamantra yajna also we can perform as a is what is defined for Kali Yuga. Now we go to the next slok, sixth slok. एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि
एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि
संगम त्यक्त्वा फलानि च
त्वक्तानि च
कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ
यानीति मे पार्थ
निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्.
सम्मोहम्
एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि
एतानि तु कर्माणि
संगम त्यक्त्वा फलानि च
त्यक्त्वा फलानि च
कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ
यानीति मे पार्थ
निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्.
निश्चितमम्.
Now Krishna extends the last slok, the fifth slok. Yajna dan tapa karma. Etanyapi tu karmani. All these things karma. That when we do all these things karma, what should be our consciousness and in what mood should we do it? Sangam tyaktva. Although we are doing all this work, we should not be attached to it. We are doing it as a part of kartavya niti. Means we should do it as a part of duty. We have to do it as a part of duty. Sangam Tekta, we should not be attached to it. Okay, I am doing this dan so that something good happen to my son. Okay, I am doing this yagya so that something happens to my child. Or if I do this, I get lot of dhan. Or if I do this, this problem should get sorted. When we do all these things, that is not the right way of doing yagya, dan and tap. Krishna says that whatever yagya, dan and tap we should do with Sangam Taktva Falanicha. We should not do any of such things with the thought that we will get any result out of it. It should be done as a matter of duty. And when we do it as a matter of duty, then our souls get purified. Souls get purified, it means what? Then we are actually moving forward in the spiritual path. It means we are moving towards liberation. But when we are doing with an expectation that I do this, I get this result, then we are actually entering into a bondage. So Krishna says We must do yajna, we must do dan, we must do tap, we must fast. Someone does Purnima fast, someone does Ekadashi fast. We must do all these fasts, but we should not do with any attachment and hoping any we'll get any result out of it. That is called, that is not called a, that will not take us, that will not purify our soul and help us for liberation. It will actually bound us. So let us read the English translation by Srila Prabhupada. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. So, how he has defined Tyag? He said that yes, we have to do it without any attachment and without any expectation of result. We have to do it for the benefit of others. We should do it for the benefit of others, but not attached to it that I'm going to enjoy the result of it, right? Now the question is, why should we renounce the karma phal? Very, I'm doing my yagya, and when I'm doing a yagya, then I'll get a result of it. So why is Krishna saying that don't do it for a karma phal? Don't expect any results. Why is Krishna saying that? Krishna is saying that because as soon as when we give that karma phal, when we do a good deed, for example, I'm doing a yagya, then there'll be a very pious result of it. And when there is a pious result of it, then and I'm doing it for my for doing getting that result, then I'm actually entering into the cycle of birth and death. I'm getting bound because of that phal. So what will happen? I will get some pious results. I'll get some pious result, and then I will have to take birth again. I will have to take birth again in the next life to enjoy that benefit that I have got. So Krishna says, do not do it with any expectation, Otherwise, it will cause bondage. Fine. Then we move to the next slok. So now shlok number 7 to 9, Krishna explains about that renunciation, the tyag that we do, the yagya dan tap that we also do, and when we are doing all these things, or can also be done in three modes. It can be in the modes of ignorance, it can be in the mode of passion, or it can be in the mode of goodness. It can be in tamas, it can be in rajas, or it can be in sattvam. So it can be in and that is what 7th, 8th, and 9th shlok talks about, right? So let us see the 7th shlok now. Krishna says, Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate moha tasya parityagas tamasah parikirtitah. Niyatasya tu sannyasah कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहातस्य परित्यागस् तामसः परिकीर्तितः. Now, karma can be widely divided into two parts. One is niyat karma. That is basically the karma that we must do. That is the niyat karma. That is the prescribed duties. Our duty that we must do. Like, and then the other is kamya karma. Kamya karma is what we read in the second shlok, which is to desire for something good, for doing puja, for getting heaven, for getting more dhan, or for eliminating of some problems. So those are the desire, that are kamya karma. And niyat karma is basically which we have to do. For example, taking care of our parents, basically doing going to satsang, going to temples, doing arti, cooking. All these are daily work that we have to do to live our life. So Krishna says, niyatasya tu sannyasa, prescribed duty, niyatasya tu sannyasa. We should never renounce the prescribed duty. We should never give up the prescribed duty. Whatever our duties are, yeah, that we must do. For example, Now look at what happened in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjun refused to fight. Now, being a Kshatriya, what is his job? His job is to fight and save Dharma. His job is to fight and save Dharma. But then what he did? He refused to fight. So he was basically he was in tamas. He was in the mode of tamas, ignorance, because he was not ready to do his duty. Right? Similarly, for all of us, for whichever varna we belong, if we are a Brahmin, we have some duty. If we are Kshatriya, we have some duty. So every varna has a duty. Every ashram has a duty. As a brahmacharya, we have to study. As a grihastha, we have to take care of the family. We have to take care of our parents. We have to take care of our relatives. As a husband, we have a duty. As a wife, we have a duty. So whatever prescribed duties we have, we should never now give up. Karmano nopapadyate. We should never give up, because moha tasya parityage. If we are parityag, if we are giving it up because of illusion, okay, it is very, I don't want to do it. I'm I want to I want to watch TV, I want to have fun, and I will not do this work. Then what is happening? Then what is that such type of tyag is actually such type of leaving work and not doing what is right is basically in the mode of ignorance. That is the mode of tamas. Right? Clear? So basically, if we do our duty, prescribed duties that we have, as a mother taking care of the child, right, as a student studying, right, then reading our scriptures, then all these are our prescribed duties. But if we don't do our prescribed duty, because it is, I want to do something else, or want to enjoy my life in some third things which is not prescribed, then what will happen? Actually, living that life is basically such type of tyag is in the mode of tamas, which is ignorance. So Krishna says prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Now, the next slok, 8th slok. Dukhamityeva yatkarma kaya klesha bhayatyajit sakritya sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Dukham ityeva yatkarma kaya klesha bhayatyajit sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. Now Krishna explains dukkham ityetad yat karma. Now if we are not doing our karma, because we are doing the tyag of some karma, because it gives me a lot of pain, yeah, kaya klesha bhayatyaje, because it is giving me bodily discomfort. For example, for a lady cooking in the kitchen in summer, it is hot summer, but then because it is very very hot, I don't feel like cooking. Yeah, so being a mother, the basic responsibility is to ensure cook and feed the kids and the family. But now, because it is very very hot, I don't feel like cooking and doesn't cook the food. Right? Now imagine father, because it is very very difficult, I will not go to office. Right? Similarly, because it is very very difficult, I will not read my scriptures. Because it is very very difficult, I won't go and do some work. So any of our prescribed duties which is there, that has to be done by us. For example, today we see many people, they go and leave their parents in what do you call it, in old age homes. Right? It is the duty of a son to take care of their parents. Right? Similar, but then they don't do it because it is a burden, they take it as a burden. So what is happening? Not doing my prescribed duty because it is troublesome or not able to manage it. Then what is that? That is called, that is the such type of tyag is in the mode of passion, is in the mode of passion. Krishna says that such tyag is, and there'll be no, you basically it will not lead to any elevation. So let us read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Such tyag, it will never lead you to the higher planet. It will actually harm you because we are not doing our prescribed duty, right? Then we go to the next shlok, ninth shlok. कार्यं कार्यम् इत्येव यत्कर्म
एव यत्कर्म
नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन
क्रियते
संगम त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव
फलं चैव
स त्यागः सात्विको मतः
त्यागः सात्विको मतः
कार्यम् इत्येव यत्कर्म
कार्यम् एव यत्कर्म
नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन
नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन
संगम त्यक्त्वा फलं चैवं
त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव
स त्यागः सात्विको मतः.
त्यागः सात्विको मतः.
So in this shlok, Krishna explains about the tyag which is done in the mode of goodness, in the mode of sattvic. So what is sattvic tyag? Krishna says that we have to do our prescribed duty. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam. Whatever is the niyatam karma, whatever is our prescribed duty, we have to do it. And how we have to do it? Sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva. We have to do it with no attachment to it. We have to do our duty with no attachment to it, and by also renouncing the results, the fall of that, the fruitive, we should not expect any results and we should not have any asakti to it. And then when we do our duty, we continue to do our duty, whatever duty we have, we continue to do that duty as a prescribed duty with no attachment, but only as a because I have got this body, I have to do this, then that tyag is called in the mode of goodness. Now let us look at a bigger picture of it. Why Krishna is saying so? So what is the goal of human life? The goal of human life, why we are born here, why we have got this body? Because we had desires. Why we have got this body? Because we have desires. We had done some good deed, so we got a body of a human. We did some good pious deed in the previous life, so we are born in a family where we are capable of having our food, having our things, right? Because of our past deeds, we have acquired this body, right? Now what is who am I? When I say what is my real position, I am actually soul. And what is as Krishna has told in 15th chapter, what is my actual, who am I actually? I am Mamaivansho Jiva Loke Jeev Bhuta Sanatana. I am actually a part of Krishna. And why am I here? Why I have come to this world? Because I wanted to enjoy away from him, and I wanted to become the master of my things. So I have come away from him. So now, how can I get liberated? How can I get moksha? How can I go back? How can I get liberated? All of us want moksha. We want liberation. But then the deeds that we do, it will not take us to liberation, because we are doing everything with the body. So because of the bodily concept. So whenever we do a deed with a bodily concept, so when we are doing a deed with a phal, then what will happen? Because of the pious deed, I'll again get this body. So if I have a attachment to my results, if I have attachment to my results of my work, then what will happen? I will again get this body. Some body I will get again in the next life. But what do I want? I want moksha. I want liberation. And when to get liberation, what I have to do? I should not get this body, right? So any work if I do with an attachment, then it is going to give my body. But then if I don't attach and I offer everything to Krishna, then what will happen? We did in the 17th chapter, the last slok, what Krishna has explained to us, that whatever we are doing, we have to do it with Om Tat Sat. When we do everything with Om Tat Sat, then it actually does not bind to us, but it actually gives back to the Supreme Lord. So we are not bound by any dan, any tap, or any austerity that we do. So whenever we do any such things, we should speak. What is the mantra which Krishna gave us in the last chapter? In the last class, we talked about it. It is Om Tat Sat. So when we do such things with the word Om Tat Sat, then what happens? Om Tat Sat refers to the Supreme. So it will actually be offered to him, and when it is offered to him, then I will directly not get the pious results and will not get bound in this body, but the result that will begin, it is called transcendental. It is beyond ignorance, passion, and goodness. It transcends all these things. Then we are actually in the path of liberation. Then it will take us towards moksha. It will take us towards moksha, liberation. And that is why anything that we do, we should not be attached to it. We should not have any attachment to the, we should do our duty with no attachment. But yes, we should do our duty. If we don't do our duty, then it is a sin. Then it is running away. It is a sin. So we have to do our duty, keeping Krishna in the center, doing everything for Om Tat Sat, offering to him, and doing that. Then what will happen? Whatever we cook, we should actually offer it to Krishna, then eat. So what will happen? When we have cooked, there may be a lot of small microorganisms may have got killed. So what will happen? I will not get directly the full of it, because I have not cooked it for myself. I have cooked for Krishna and I offer it to Krishna. So whatever mistakes has happened, that gets absorbed by Krishna, and then I take prasadam. When I take prasadam, it is already pious. So all those things have been taken away. That's why when we do our cooking, it should be done for the Supreme. And then what we do? We honor prasadam. So I will not get any pious or impious results out of it. Similarly, if I go to my office, I work, I get money, I don't directly use it. If I directly use it, then what is happening? Anything that I do with my money, even dan tap, that is again I am going to get some pious credit, and again I'll get bound. So what I should do? When I get my money, I offer the entire money to Krishna, then take some money from him, and then run my family, for running my family, because that's a part of, they all are gifts of Krishna. But no attachment. With no attachment, just do your prescribed duty, offering everything to Krishna. That is the way. And if we live like that, then actually we are in the path of liberation. We are not going to get bound with the cycle of birth and death. Right? So let us read the translation of the ninth shlok. O Arjun, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done, and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Right? Now we go to the 10th shlok. Na dveshtya akushalam karma कुशले नानुषज्जते त्यागी सत्व समाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः न द्वेष्ट्य अकुशलम कर्म कुशले नानुषज्जते त्यागी सत्व समाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः. And Krishna says that that person is an intelligent renouncer. What does he do? How does he live? Na dveshti akushalam karma. Akushal karma. What is akushal karma? Akushal karma is inauspicious karma. Krishna has defined akushal karma as all that karma for which we get the results, for which we get the for which is going to bind me for the in the cycle of birth and death. All those karma Krishna has defined as akushal karma, and kushal karma is something which is not going to bind me in the cycle of birth and death, is the kushal karma. So Krishna says that it's very very important that sometimes we here the word dveshti is very very important. Sometimes we do renounce akushalam karma. We know that if I do this, I will get some result, but then although I renounce it, I don't do with any respect, but then what happens? I become dveshti, I hate it, or I become envious to it. Okay, for example, so that is a very important consciousness to be checked with. I am renouncing this work. Okay, I have renounced it, but although I have renounced it, but still I have a feeling for that work. I have renounced it, but then I am carrying away with me a hate for that, or a envy for that, or a sadness for that. I have renounced it. Fine, I'll not do this work, but then still in my heart I have carried a sadness or a envious or a hate for it. Something. So what will happen? Although I've renounced the work, but that feeling that I'm carrying with me, that will make me take birth again, so that I can nullify that feeling. So when we are doing some tyag, it has to be done tyag also with no dveshti, and no akanksha. We have to ensure that there is no envious. It is tyag is also completely in a happy with no attachment to it. No na dveshti. There should not be any attachment left to that tyag that we have done. Right? That is a very very important point. Otherwise, that will continue. That feeling will go with me, and the next life I will have to come again to what do you call it, to repay for that. So na dveshta akushal karma. So when you are doing the even for the akushal karma that is being done, there is nothing, no feeling is taken back. It is again done with exactly no asakti, no attachment, no for no enjoying and results. That is important. So let's read the English translation. The intelligent renouncer. So that renouncer, that tyagi is actually intelligent, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. So when we actually do the tyag, not only in the mode of goodness, but ensuring that there is no feeling that I am carrying back with me, that is what is in the mode of goodness. That is what is an intelligent renouncer is. Yeah. Let's go to the next shlok, 11th shlok. न हि देहभृता शक्यं
न असख्यं
त्यक्तुं कर्मणा शेषतः
कर्मशेषतः
यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी
कर्मत्यागी
स त्यागित्यभिधीयते.
इत्यभिधीयते
न हि देहभृता शक्यं
देशाशक्यं
त्यक्तुं कर्माणि अशेषतः
कर्मशेषतः
यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी
कर्मफलत्यागी
स त्यागित्य अभिधीयते. Yeah, so Krishna says that Dehabhrita means like us who have taken a body. They have got a, like we have got a body. So he says, Nahi Dehabhrita Shakya, someone who is embodied in the body and who is actually attached to the body, doesn't realize that I am not this body but I am a soul. If the consciousness is not matured, that I am not this body but I am a soul, but still relate to this body, say which is Shushmita, and then what will happen? It is not possible for such people who recognize, who attach, are so much attached to their body, to do a tyag of the to give up all activities. Nahi dehabrita shakyam tyaktum karmana sheshata. It is not possible for them to entirely do, to renounce everything, because mentally the person is attached to the body of Sushmita, not that I am the soul. And I'm not free with the concept that I am not this body, I am the soul, and whatever work I am doing is should be done with no attachment, because my mind is attached to this body. So Krishna says, Nahi dehabrita shakya. Those who are too much attached to the dehabrita, to the bodily conception, tyaktum karmana sheshata. It is very, very difficult for them to leave the to give up the activities. Yes, to karma phala tyagi, but those who can completely do the karma and phal tyag, sa tyagitya abhidhiyate, that is called a true renouncer, who can do that, and who can actually do that, has actually differentiated themselves between soul and body, understands that I am not this body but I am soul. So all the deeds that is being done by that person is for the soul, not for this body. So so any work that will be done by this body will not be selfish for Sushmita, but it will be done for others. Because if I am doing things for, if I have the concept of bodily concept, means I am Sushmita, then my activity with that thought will be attached to Sushmita, then I am attached to my body. So those who are attached to the bodily concepts and have not matured enough to understand that I am not this body but I am soul, then it is very very difficult for them nahi devrita shakyam tyaktum karmane, to leave, to give up the activities. But then those who can understand that I am not this body, uh, my real identity is soul, right? I am soul, and that is why I should not be attached to the my activity, and I should only do the with or no attachment. Then you can actually do the you're truly renounced. So let us read the English translation by Srila Prabhupada. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. But he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. And the last slok for today. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha
Ishtam, Ishtam, Vishram, Cha,
trividham karmana phalam
Idam, Karmana,
bhavatya tyaginam pretya
Ityagin, Vetya,
na tu sannyasinam kvachit.
Nakuru, Sannyasinam, Kochit,
Anishtam ishtam mishram cha
Anishtam, Ishtam, Vishram, Cha,
trividham karmana phalam भवत्य त्यागिनां प्रेत्य
Nam, Vetya,
न तु सन्यासिनां क्वचित्.
Nakuru, Sannyasinam, Kochit.
So anishtam, ishtam, mishram cha. So there are trividham. Trividham means three types. Trividham means three types. Three types of karmana. Three types of karmana, phalam. So there are three types of phal that, and what are the three types of phal? Ishtam, anishtam, and mishram. Right? That is desirable, undesirable, and mixed. These are the three types of phal. That is the results that someone who is not able to understand that I am the soul, I am not this body, and is attached to the bodily concept, they, what will happen when they carry these three types of results with them to the next life. They carry desirable, undesirable, and mixed reaction of the activities that they have done, because of the attachment to the body, the results will also get carried away with them to the next life. But then those who knows that I am the soul and is not attached to the body and has done the work only for, with no attachment to what do you call it, with no attachment and with no expectation of results, what will happen? They will actually not accrue any of these results, desirable and undesirable. So let's read the translation by Sri Prabhupada. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life, that those who are sannyasis, have no such results to suffer or enjoy. So those who are sannyasis and have not attached to the material results, they understand very well that I am the soul, I have no bodily concepts, and work according with no asakti, with no attachment to the work as well as the result of that. What will happen? They will not accrue any sort of results of desirable, undesirable, and mixed, and they will actually become free. They'll get liberated. But those who are attached to the bodily form, they will actually accrue, they will get all these, and in the next birth they will take birth again and will actually suffer for those reactions or enjoy the deeds, right? So we started this whole section, this class, with the question, is spiritual life about quitting everything? So the spiritual life is not about quitting anything. It is about how we live. It is, we have to live understanding that I am not this body, I am soul. I have to do all my prescribed duties, whatever, to whichever varna or ashram I belong, I must do that activity, but with no attachment to the work or to the results of the work. With no attachment, I should do, and at the same time, we should do with Krishna in the center of our work, so that and if we live that way, then the life, it's not about quitting, it is about living life with Krishna. Thank you. Let us now chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.